What's going on, guys? It's RPG Zeke here, coming at you with another video. This time, you didn't think it would happen. I didn't think it would happen either. The ban list finally got an update, posted 10 hours ago at the time of making this video. It is a good day to be a Battle Spirit Saga player. Let's go. So, before we get into the long, wordy explanation as to why they did their decisions, which, first of all, hats off to the team for actually giving an explanation and why they reviewed the certain circumstances that they decided to go that route. If you watched my video for help, that's awesome. If not, it's fine too. I'm sure you came to these conclusions on your own. I made a visual aid just so we can kind of get into it. Gasp, there's still cards here. It's so crazy. All right, so let's get into it. Banned cards still. Netherworld Depths, no surprise. Moving into the next one. DO8 Axebiter, also not surprising. Kind of expected, honestly. The new cards, in addition to the ban list, Big Bang Energy got the ban, not the restricted like some people were thinking. Absolutely smothered into the abyss with Bandai's pillow, probably an anime waifu pillow. As it gave its last breath, it could Big Bang no longer. It is gone. Also, in addition to no surprises here, is Great Sapphire Labyrinth. We've talked about it plenty of times. If you can ramp a core on play, that's fine. That wasn't really the issue. It was mainly just the not having to sack a spirit for Ascend when everything else literally has to do that. So, given that the circumstances to ban those other two cards and our ban list got a little bit bigger, makes total sense. Moving into the limited before we talk about more, because again, this video, unfortunately, is probably going to be a little bit lengthy as we're going to review the rhymes and reasons as to why they decided to add Big Bang Energy and Great Sapphire Labyrinth. And if you notice a card is missing, we'll get to that in just a moment. And again, it's an editor note from RPG Zeke, because when I go back and edit a video, I tend to notice a lot of things I mess up. So when we were going over the laundry list as to why they decided to ban certain cards, for an update, this ban list, if you are not going to frequent any of the socials and find out for yourself, it is taking place on October 26th of 2024. So just keep that in mind. That is the effective time frame. They are going to update the website. October 11th is when we can expect to actually see that updated for all to be able to read publicly on the actual Battle Spirit Saga website. So hopefully that bit of news is helpful. And now let's get back to the actual running of the video. Limited Volcanic Break. This one surprised me. I thought Volcanic Break was going to come off the limited list, but they still have it limited to one. New to the limited list, Volcanic Canyon. This is the card that you play it. It allows you to draw an extra card during your draw turn and then discard a card in hand. So draw one, ditch one. I personally didn't really see an issue with it. I feel like this is just one of those things where it's like Volcanic Canyon can go into so many other colors and just kind of coherently help the draw. The next Nexus that does the very similar thing is the Willa Nexus from the Evangelion set. It does require 2 cores for that skill to be active, but I mean, hey, sure, whatever. Let's go ahead and limit Volcanic Canyon to 1. Why not? People are going to be so excited. If you want to pop off in the comments about this one, go for it. Ira, limited to 1. It was viewed as being too powerful for being able to drop him, do a whole bunch of weird things. Again, I didn't really think Ira was the issue. I know Ira can get played in other colors because his Ascend cost is literally just something that is 4 or more, which makes him a threat, and his ability procs on something that is cost 6 or higher to board wipe and draw that many cards that it kills. Sure, okay, fine. Let's go ahead and restrict it to 1. Still a really good card. I think now we're just going to start seeing things that play this card. Maybe fish it out of the grave a little bit later if your hand's feeling a little small. And then you can start drawing more cards by sending him again. Obviously, you're going to have to pay the cost now since Big Bang Energy is no longer. Can you play Gray Seedworm? Absolutely, but I'm not here to deck brew or kind of talk about discussions on that. Let's move on. Last one, Tosagawa. The card that makes it so if you swing with an Ascend, you mill 5 no matter what. Limiting to 1, sure. I didn't really think that card was a problem because cost 4, 2 reduction, you can usually murk him pretty fast if they don't core him up. Because usually the cores on that card were being used towards something else like Hydra, for example. But sure, I get it. It's too good of a utility tool if you see too much of it. If you get 2 of these on board and swing with Hydra, no matter what, you're getting a chunky size of your deck just removed. So sure, limited to 1. Understood. Now, the card that I'm sure we're all really excited about or to see back in play. Hold your applause. Unbanned! Oviraptodon celebrating with his birthday caps after being out of play for months on end. I know there's a lot of Pterosaur players that really like Giganorex and really feel like this is needed to get that card back in play. There's been a lot of nutty, crazy red aggro lists that have come out thanks to Zamitza and a couple of other cards. So we will see if unbanning this card altogether gets us a Pterosaur back in the top 5, top 4, top whatever you want to call it. I just, any Pterosaur in play that's in the top, that would be pretty sick. Just to see that archetype come back full circle and come back with a vengeance would be awesome. So if you're playing Pterosaur and you're going to events and you're going to use it, please make me proud. That would be pretty cool to see. All right, let's go back to their reasonings. Why are they doing this? So they posted this. I'll save it and I'll kind of summarize it a little bit. Let's just move into the banned cards that we already talked about from the visual aid standpoint. Big Bang Energy. In order for this card to have an explosive impact, you needed a deck with both strong card draw and powerful Star Dragon Spirits. However, in the introduction of BSS 04, Rage Star Dragon Sigmar Ire replenishing your hand became easy. This card also makes it to summon both Ira and Nova. So again, in my ban list video, I talked about this combo where it's you drop Ira to clear the board, draw cards, and then you drop Nova same turn because Big Bang is still in effect, and then you just heal because Seagworm in name is what Nova's looking for. You ascend, you might not even have to pay any cost for it. Boom, heal back to 5. It was just a really big threat as far as one turn's considered. And all you have to pay in most circumstances with Big Bang Energy. And being able to play both destroy your opponent's spirits or cover your life in the same turn proved extremely powerful. Duh. We considered limiting this card to 1 copy, but using red cards, using red draws. This is why I'm a trading card game player, because I can't read. But using draw cards would still allow players to get 1 copy in hand too easily. So we determined that the ban was necessary. Cool, applause all around. Won't find me arguing this one here. Big Bang had to go, in my opinion. But it made Star Dragons relevant. I get it, but you can also make Star Dragons relevant. There's also Awaken. I think there's a conversation to be had where using Awaken tech actually comes back into play. Great Sapphire Labyrinth. This card fulfilled 2 important roles in the Hydra deck: increasing your cores and reducing the cost of Ascend, aka just giving it to you for free practically. The concept behind Ascend Spirits is to trade the payment of a great cost for exponential power. Great Sapphire Labyrinth was conceived as a way to overcome the drawbacks of Ascend and allow players to better enjoy the concept. However, it resulted in excessive increase of speed to the games. We've considered limiting it to 1 copy, but Blue has a number of ways to get a specific nexus to hand, such as Strong Draw, such as Pollen, which was also in my ban list video that I brought up as a recommendation if they weren't serious about this one. So we determined that the ban was necessary. Totally makes sense. Talked about this before. Pollen was such a good tool to the Hydra meta because you could just filter your deck extremely fast, get what you needed on board, and start dropping Hydra for nothing. It is what it is. Big Bang gone, Great Sapphire Labyrinth gone. Hydra not getting touched at all before I even talk about the Ira thing since we're on Sapphire. It's fine for right now because even in Blue-Red, which I've been playing around with a lot, I didn't put Hydra in my top end. I've been using Synthetria. I think there's an argument now where Hydra can go in a blue and red archetype because I didn't touch the card because I assumed it was going to get limited or banned. Just because of I didn't know what they were going to do with Labyrinth and I didn't know if they were going to do anything with Pollen. So because of the I don't know factor, I really didn't touch anything the deck primarily used. I think I'm going to touch and put Hydra back in my top end and see, or actually put it in the top end and see if that works, because I'm not in a position a lot of times with that deck where everything just falls into place and I'm doing really hunky-dory, that my blue-red list, unfortunately, is very fall on its face or just take off like a rocket ship. So we'll see if that adds anything to the mid to late game. All right, moving on. Limited cards. Volcanic Canyon. I'm not even going to read this because that is whatever to me. We're going to move on to Rage Star Dragon Seagworm Ira. This card was conceived as a powerful card to reintroduce Star Dragon decks into the meta. To balance this, we also designed other double symbol Ascend spirits and spirits that were resistant to destruction, but ultimately those weren't enough to hold out against this card. That said, this card has a flexibility to use in red decks, One copy would still allow the opportunities to make it using for game or use. Oh my goodness. Would allow for opportunities to make use of it during gameplay. Therefore, we are limiting it to one copy. All they're saying is, hey, we don't want to take away your pretty Saga, your really nice Ira. Still a good card and tool, but shouldn't be the entire archetype or the entire existence, whatever you want to call it, of the deck. So limited to one. Tosagawa. Hydra decks have many strong points, including acceleration of game pacing via core additions, continuous attacks via double symbols and raid, the spirit reduction. This card also strengthened its deck's discards, which added to the weakness of white decks that feature strong defense tools, continuous destructions, resulting in Hydra not being able to blah blah blah. So banning of the Great Fire Labyrinth would slow the deck down. Totally makes sense. And repress the offensive, oh my gosh, this video is horrible. The offense of the deck, discarding versus slowing decks down. So we are limiting it to one copy. By the way, if you don't like my whole ranting and reading this thing, feel free to go over to the Facebook. They post it on their main thing, and I'm pretty sure they have it on Twitter. I haven't looked, but I can only assume that. The card that we're all super excited about getting unbanned, Oviraptodon. Since various other aggro decks have been developed and the strength of the defensive decks that can defeat aggro decks is in a good place, we have determined that the key card to Terrazor decks should no longer pose a significant problem. Therefore, we have unbanned this card. Yay! And then they post a list of all the stuff here. It's on Facebook. I'm not going to scroll down towards the comments. I know how you guys typically get. Yay! Hurrah! Awesome! So we have an updated list. Looks pretty good. I'm excited about it. Again, the boy got unbanned. You guys can be happy. I know everybody's like, well, what about Axe-Spider? What about Axe-Spider? Man, that guy has so much going for him. I don't know if we're in a situation where that guy can come back, at least for a little bit longer until we get more tools and utilities. But that is the updated ban list. I wanted to make this video and kind of go through it with some new visuals. I'll post up the visuals in places if people are really serious about posting these in other places or just celebrating the fact that this card got unbanned. I hope you guys have a good one. Look forward to more videos. I know I just put out a Gundam TCG video yesterday, unboxing video Wednesday. I've done 3 videos in a week. Who is this guy? I don't know. Stay tuned till next time. Peace!